Welcome. This morning we celebrate the baptism of Christ in the Jordan River, the one who John knew from the time they were in the womb. When Mary came to visit Elizabeth, and Elizabeth told her, "When I first heard your greeting, the babe in me leapt for joy." Now John finally gets to meet him. He's waited his whole life to proclaim the one who would be Messiah, to proclaim Jesus, his cousin. And as they meet, his life's purpose not only is fulfilled in that moment of encountering the divine, but the thong of whose sandal he isn't worthy to untie, asks him for baptism. I think I'd be taken aback too. John's protests are met with familiar words. Just do it anyway. It's okay. So often when we're called, we have those protestations. But I'm not worthy. But I'm too young. But I'm a man of unclean lips. Go away from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man. So many different calling stories. We hear the protestations of those who feel like they shouldn't be the ones who are called. And it's always the same answer. It's okay. Just go do it. The baptism of Jesus in the Jordan is our Epiphany moment this Sunday. This season of Epiphany will be filled with those moments of divine encounter, of the breaking through of God's presence into the lives of those in the stories we hear, an encouragement to seek and find those places in our own lives where God has broken through into the here and now, because it keeps happening. We heard it prophesied in the words of Isaiah that the things past were past and a new thing was now going to happen. That new thing is what we're encouraged to look for throughout this season. God calls us to new things throughout our lives. And our ability to recognize that, to take up that call, even though we might not feel always up to the task, is part of our calling as we continue to be Christ's hands and heart, living out God's love in our own world. A world that is beset, that is struggling, that faces darkness. A world where people are harmed, even though they're doing nothing. A place where people are taken away from their families. A place where people feel unsafe just walking down the street. We are called into that world to proclaim the good news that God is with us, that God's love is bigger than the darkness of the world, that the light came into the world and the darkness did not overcome it. Despite the fears and the oppressive sense of our reality in our world, we get to go out living lives of hope, sowing those seeds of hope as we continue to love boldly, as we continue to draw in those on the margins, as we continue to see the unseen, hear the silenced, and acknowledge those who have been told they don't matter. That acknowledgement, seeing people, hearing people, drawing them into the center from the margins, is part of the work that we're gifted to do in our world. It's a gift of life and hope where there is none. And yeah, we might not always feel up to the task, but the message comes through pretty loud and clear. It's okay. Just go do it. We leave from this place with those words resounding in our hearts and in our ears, to go out and spread hope, spread love, spread light. we find that it's at least, and I hope more, contagious than the doubts and fears of our world. It's more powerful. Living in our faith gives us the strength to go out and do these things, even though we may be afraid. This past Wednesday, we celebrated the 15th anniversary of Luke's adoption day. I remember we got the phone call that Luke had been born about the Tuesday after Mother's Day in 2010. We weren't waiting for another child. We weren't on any lists that we remembered. They called up and they told Jane, Anthony has a full biological sibling that was born 2 weeks ago, and we'd like to place him with you. And Jane said, yes. Oh, well, let me call my husband and check. And she called me and I said, you said yes, right? And so we met Luke the following that Thursday, and he came home the following Monday. He was our 5-day pregnancy. So we had 5 days to get a bigger vehicle where 3 car seats would fit in it, because 3 car seats didn't fit in the back seat of our Subaru. We had to get a new car seat, because all 3 were still in car seats. We had to get out the co-sleeper and all the baby clothes and sterilize all the bottles and get everything ready so that we could go pick up this amazing new baby. And we picked him up and brought him out to the car, and Anthony squealed with delight. He was about 18 months at the time, but he recognized his brother. And it was about 15 years ago today that I got to baptize him. When you're fostering a child, you don't get to do things like baptize them, or we had to have permission from the county to get him a haircut. When you're finally declared a forever family by the judge, you get to do all of those things that you've been waiting for all that time to be able to do. So we gathered our community of friends and family and godparents, and we baptized him. I was looking at the bulletin for that this weekend, and just, I don't know, the amount of joy that we felt comes through even in the bulletin for that service. Baptism is a pretty amazing thing. Not only was he a forever part of our family, but he became a forever part of God's family that day. We make promises in baptism to seek and serve Christ in all people, loving our neighbors as ourselves, to seek for justice and peace, to acknowledge the dignity of every human being. And those promises we make with God's help take us out into our world in a different way, in a way that does see the unseen and hear the unheard, in a way that does look into the eyes of someone who's been told they don't matter and tells them, you matter, you are important, you are loved. The gift of this day is the reminder that God is present with us at all moments of our lives, calling us to love in God's name, calling us to go out and make our world a better place, one moment, one encounter, one life at a time. We don't have to go out and try to change the whole world. That feels a little insurmountable. But going out and just greeting someone with love, not so hard. And so as we renew our baptismal vows in just a few moments, really think about those promises. Hear them. And take them with you as you go out into our world that is so desperately in need of light and life and love. I was hoping Luke could be here this morning. He's a teenage boy. And that makes getting out of bed difficult, so I acknowledge that. And I appreciate the presence of those who are young and for whom it is also difficult to get out of bed. But his gift to us continues to shine through. He's grown up to be an incredible young man, and we're proud of him. May we leave from this place being the people that we hope we can be, taking with us that hope and living it in our lives. And may others know that they have come into the presence of the divine by the love that we share with them in every encounter. Amen.